European Union has become like the United States. It's very difficult to get a visa, to get in, yes. And if my consul makes a mistake, and for example he accepts someone who should not enter Schengen area, he will have problems. But if he makes errors 3 times, he can be ejected from the service. You imagine that the responsibility of consuls is very huge. Me as ambassador now, I have no, I would say, consular power. I simply cannot sign any documents because I do not have consular power. I am ambassador, but I have no consular power. Before being in Sao Paulo, I had consular power, but not now. Ambassador is purely representative. It means that you have a lot of things. You take care of the whole embassy. You organize work of the embassy. You meet people. You talk to the people. You can do plenty of things, but in fact, you are not responsible, for example, for visas. So the question that you, for example, ask ambassador to give you a visa does not make sense because this is at the level of consulate. They have to make inquiries. They have to ask questions about the given a given person. You know, we have, for example, now some problem. This is something that could be interesting for you. At the same time, I continue my academic activity as ambassador. I have 2 chairs in Poland, one at the public university and one at the private university. For example, this is quite interesting for you if you are interested in the university. We have in Poland affiliate of Clark University from the United States, in Łódź and in Warsaw, Clark University. And this Clark University delivers Magister, MA title. Why is it interesting? Because in the United States you get the same, you get diploma from the United States. You know what I mean? You go, if you study in Poland for 1.5 years, and then you go to the United States for 3-4 months, you get diploma from American academic authorities.
Here's the sandwich.
No sandwich.
No sandwich?
You get just American diploma, not Polish diploma.
Okay.
You can also get Polish diploma if you want, but we have many students who only come for American diploma. In Poland you pay $4,000 per year. In the United States you pay $35,000 per year. So, just to explain you, this is a very good deal for some students. So we have plenty of students from, for example, Nigeria, India, all these countries. But all these countries, Pakistan, for example, have problems with the restrictions of visas. So, this is a huge problem for our embassies in these countries. Why? Because, tell me, how to accept students, how to know that students who come to your country are really going to study. And they are not going only just to, under the pretext of become students, they are just going to enter Schengen area. And this is a huge problem. We had these problems. Many of students from Africa, especially from Nigeria, you know, subscribed to become students. And what they did, the first stopover was in Frankfurt, and they got off in Frankfurt instead of going to Poland. Of course, the aim was not to study, but just to be in the European Union. And this is a very serious problem. How to recognize, for example, in Nigeria, there are mafia, big mafia people who, you know, under the pretext of sending students to study in other countries, they simply send immigrants. So please tell me how to make a difference, how to find real students among fake students. So we have many problems with especially India, with Pakistan, with Nigeria, and also to some extent with China. We have many students coming from China. China is relatively easier, yes, but the biggest problems is with Africa. In your case, there's no problem. In case of Chile, no visa, everybody can go and everybody can study. But this is very interesting. The problem is that in this Clark University is only management, communication, culture, intercultural communication, and so on. By the way, we can make a, if you want, we can make an agreement with this American university and Catholic university if you wanted. If we talk to some
director. Which universities in the U.S.?
Clark University. You have
students?
Computer, yes. Notebook you can find. If someone has internet access, you can find this is Clark University from Worcester, near Boston. Boston. Quite good university, belonging to, I say, 100 American universities with PhD degree. They also deliver PhD degree, Clark University. This is medical studies and as far now, and management studies only this, at the level of MA. So there is also some possibility of coming, for example, to in English. It's in English, yes. So you have you study in English.
I think you have a very good position there because you are in front of the East European East country, not European country, but the countries. Not only of the Central East Europe, but the Russian Federation.
No, this is another problem.
To many cultures.
Yes,
there.
But the problem is that we get for these studies, we get students, especially from Western Europe, from the world, not from Russia. From Russia and Ukraine, they are not rich enough.
How about Lithuania?
Lithuania is the European Union. Lithuania belongs to the European Union. Estonia and Latvia, they belong to the European Union, so no problem for them. The problem with Russia, it's another problem, political problem we have in Europe. I mean European Union. It's now Schengen Iron Curtain, you know, because Schengen has now created another Iron Curtain at the border with Poland and Ukraine. You know, recently we have seen that the number of tourists coming from Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus diminished by, you know, now we have 40% of people that we had 4 years ago, before joining the European Union, before Schengen. Because you must remember, Schengen is not the same as the European Union. Do you know about it? What countries which do not belong to the European Union belong to Schengen? Please tell me. Yes? No, England is not member of Schengen, and Ireland is also not member of Schengen. So you have two countries from the European Union which are not members of Schengen. So which countries are in Schengen? Swiss? Recently, very recently. But there's another country that belongs to the Schengen area and is not in the European Union. You students from political science, tell me, in Europe. It's in Europe. Very nice country, beautiful country. It's not European EU member, but it's Schengen member. Who knows? Norway. So you have some countries which do not belong to Schengen, and you have at the same time you have Great Britain and Ireland, which are European Union members, but they didn't want, simply. They want to maintain controls in Britain. So they want to simply control inflow of foreign people, simply. Yes, this is something. So you should remember that Schengen is not the same as the European Union. But coming back to this question, so now we have problems with Russian tourists, for example, coming from Eastern Europe, because. Why is it so important? Because eastern part of Poland was benefiting a lot from Russian, Belarusian and Ukrainian tourists. They were coming, they were buying things, and now they cannot do it easily because to get a visa is much more difficult. You can see that there are huge crowds of people waiting in lines in front of Polish consulates to get visa to go to Poland.